Welcome back, learner. Myself, Dr. Vinita Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, RGSC, Banaras Hindu University, with the course Rudimentary Principle and Practices of Managerial Economics. Module 12, lecture number 59, Monopolistic Competition and Oligopoly. In the previous lecture, we had discussed about the concept, definitions, features and types of oligopoly. In today's lecture, we are going to decide the price output determination under oligopoly market, and these basically consist of three levels, that is the independent pricing, collusive pricing and leadership pricing. Price output determination under oligopoly. In oligopoly market, price and output determination is not an easy process. Basically, there are three methods of price determination under oligopoly. So, as we say that the feature of oligopoly market itself prove that the price output determination under oligopoly market is not easy. It requires a lot of effort. So, basically there are three ways through which the price output policy is determined under oligopoly market, that basically consists of independent pricing, pricing under collusion and pricing under price leadership. So, starting with the first, that is the independent pricing. In independent pricing method, for determining the price and output under oligopoly market, every seller is free to decide its own price output policy. This type of method will be adopted only when there is no agreement regarding any type of collusion and collaboration amongst the firm under industry. This type of pricing strategy is similar to the strategy adopted by monopolist under monopoly. That means the word independent itself means the price output policy of each firm under the industry in monopoly market is determined by individual firm. That means each firm is free to decide its own price and output policy. They are not going to be controlled by others. Others will not decide their price output policy. Their price output policy will definitely be get affected by the price output policy of the other, but they have a full control to decide the way they want their price output for their particular firm under the industry. That means it is similar to the monopoly. Just like monopoly has its own price output policy, in the same manner under oligopoly, the independent pricing method says that you can have your own price output policy. This system of pricing promotes and sustains tough competition in the market amongst the firm, because independent price output policy of one firm will definitely affect the price output policy of other firm, as there are few sellers in the market. No doubt you can have your own price output policy, but this method generates a tough competition among these sellers, because as we know that the price output policy of one is definitely going to affect the price output policy of the other. So, when every firm is preparing their own price output policy, so this will create a lot of competition in the market. If the firm increases the price of the product, other firm in the market will not adopt this strategy, will not increase the price of their product. That will reduce the demand for the product, thereby ultimately the reducing market share for the firm for that product. But if the firm reduce its price for the product, other will also follow the same step and reduce their price simultaneously. But that will not increase the demand for the product as proportion to the price reduced by the seller, because other firm will also reduce their price for the product. Basically, it means if you are increasing the price of your product, that means you are increasing your price of your product. So, the demand of your product will fall down. So, other will not going to increase the price of their product. But if you are going to reduce the price of your product, other will also reduce the price of their product. So, by reducing the price of your product, the demand of your product is not going to be increased so much, because others are also reducing their prices simultaneously. So, this is in this manner we can say that it is generating a lot of competition in the market. The demand curve of the firm cannot be determined exactly in advance, just like other markets such as perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition. The demand curve keeps on changing due to continuously change in price output policy of the firm itself, as well as price output policy adopted by the rival firm in the market. So, simple, the demand curve is not determined. That means you cannot say that this is the demand curve, this is the demand curve for this price level of output policy. No, because it is continuously changing. So, your demand curve will also going to be change. Oligopoly firm may take help of price rigidity to prevent price war, in which all the firm adopt prevailing prices market. Independent price output policy cannot sustain in long run, as it develops a sense of uncertainty, insecurity and promotes competition in the market. Therefore, in long run collusion and price leadership, it is found under oligopoly. That means the price, whatever the price that is prevailing in the market, that need to be fixed, because all the time with the change in price output policy of one firm, it is going to affect the price output policy of the other firm. So, it develops a sense of insecurity, it develops a sense of tough competition among the sellers working in the oligopoly market. So, there are various policy methods under the oligopoly market under the independent policy. So, basically this can be explained with the demand curve under oligopoly is kinged. That means itself is showing the demand curve is not determined and it is the kinged demand curve. As you can see this diagram, this is the original price and output. That means OP, this OP is the original price and OQ is the original output. Suppose if the seller is increasing the price from P to P1, definitely their output will reduce from Q to Q1. That means he will lose a large share of market of its supply, because other will not increase their price. You have reduced your price and you have lost the market share of your goods. But if you will reduce the price, the other will also reduce the price and your demand is just going to be increased by this small amount. The reduced price will not bring that level of change in the quantity output. So, we can say D1 and M point, the elasticity is relatively elastic. Relatively elastic means a small high in price will brings a big change in quantity demanded, and M and D2 basically means the elasticity is inelastic. That means a big change in price will not bring a big change in the quantity demanded. That is why there is a possibility of relatively elastic demand as well as relatively inelastic demand under the king demand curve, depending whether the price is increasing or the price is reducing. So, features of independent pricing. That means on the concept of independent pricing, we can take out some prominent features about this particular method. The first one, independent price output policy. That means as per this policy, as per this technique of pricing, each and every firm follow the independent price output policy. They decide their own price and they decide their own level of output need to be brought in the market. Second, if you will adopt this strategy, this will create a tough competition in the market. Why the tough competition? Because you are changing the price, other will also change the price. So this change in the price will create a lot of competition among the firm in oligopoly market. Indeterminate demand curve or king demand curve. That means the demand curve of the firm under oligopoly market cannot be decided, cannot be determined in advance, because it keeps on changing with the change in price output policy of all the firm. It doesn't mean that with change in your price output policy, the demand curve will change. No. With the change in price output policy of the other firm will also affect your demand curve. That means your demand curve is affected by your own policy as well as by the policy of others in the market. Price rigidity. That means the price are rigid. The price does not fluctuate, does not change. It becomes constant. The goods need to be sold in the market as per the price that is there in the market. Because with every change in price output policy, it is bringing a tough competition to the other. So as to avoid the competition, adopt the price that is being there in the market and make it as fixed. Uncertainty. That means when you adopting this strategy, it is uncertain, because you cannot say that with your planning and with your strategy, if you are increasing this much of price, if you are reducing this much of price, this will bring this much change in the output. No, everything is uncertain. You are thinking in a positive, might be it possible that your price output policy has changed into the negative result. So exactly your planning may be so good, but it's still your planning will give you the uncertain result. Every firm follow its own price output policy. Wastage of resources. Lots of time, lots of effort, lots of energy, lots of resources do get wastage by framing again and again and again price output policy. That means there will be one department that will totally engaged in searching the market, what the competitors are doing, whether they are increasing the price, they are reducing the price, what changes they are doing. So that means one department you are going to keep for regular watching what is there in the market, and you will bring some changes according to that in your own price output policy. So that is a lot of wastage, and we know that resources are so limited, so precious. So instead of wasting your resources, you need to find out some better strategy for maintaining a good, healthy relation among the seller and to create a profit and to reduce the competition in regard with prices. Interdependence, as I already told in the features of oligopoly market, the every firm action and reaction totally depend upon other firm. That means each firm under the oligopoly adopting the independent price output policy depends on each other, not applicable in long run. This theory is not going to give a fruitful result in the form of profit in long run. Maybe it can give you a profit in short run, but for successful business, as we know that every business is for long period of time. So we need to think in a longer perspective rather than in a shorter one. So this independent price output policy will definitely not going to give a better result in the long run. So in order, there were so many limitations under the independent pricing policy. So as to overcome, there are various other methods of pricing. The one method is collusive pricing. Collusive means collaboration. Collaboration means agreement, deciding coming at some common level for price output strategy, which means to overcome the limitation of independent pricing under oligopoly, a new strategy need to be framed that will curtail the price war competition, uncertainty, insecurity, wastage of resources amongst the firm under oligopoly, so as to benefit each other in minimizing the fluctuation in the price of commodity. As we know that in price output policy, there was uncertainty, there was wastage of resources, there was lot of competition. So, in order to overcome all this, we need some strategy that can somewhere give a better result. So, collusive pricing means collaborate with each other so as to form common price output policy for all the firm under industry, so as to reduce competition in regard with price of the product for the sake of maximizing profit by minimizing the wastage of resources involved in competition. This collusive pricing is basically done through the formation and establishment of cartels through the mutual agreement among all the firm under industry. So, collusive means collaboration of all the firm under industry to decide the common price output policy, so that all the firm under oligopoly should sell their product at the same price, so as to eliminate the competition in regard with price. This will reduce the unnecessary wastage of resources in the form of material, time, effort, money. So, cartel is one of the technique through which collusive pricing can be managed. That means, what is cartels? Cartels is basically a collusive pricing technique in which all the firm under oligopoly market comes voluntary to associate with each other and to decide the common price. At that price, all the firm will sell their output. That means this is the price all the firm will be selling their product. That means cartel is the central organization that is deciding and managing the prices at what prices all the firm need to sell their product. It is necessary for firm to sell at that price only. You cannot sell above from that price, you cannot sell from below that price. That means when you decide the price, somewhere we can say the demand curve can be determined because everybody is selling its product at that level only. So, this will curtail the competition in regard with price. You can compete with each other on the basis of selling cost, on the basis of product, on the basis of advertisement, techniques other than the price. So, following features of collusive oligopoly are common price output policy. All firms under oligopoly market will adopt one policy, and that one policy is applicable to each one. Non-price competition. The competition among the firm is not on the basis of price. Price is not the element of competition. Apart from price, you are free to compete. You are free to compete. That means your innovation is judged. How innovative you are, how good you are in producing the goods, how effectively you can produce the good, how you can reduce your cost, you can maximize your profit. So, that means price is not the way to compete other than the way out to compete with each other. Profit margin. When the price is fixed, everybody know that they have to sell this price. That means you have to put an effort so as to reduce the cost of production. Higher is the difference between the price decided by the cartel and lower will the cost of production. That means it will give you a good profit. A firm which manages to produce the goods at a cheaper rate, they can have more profit. But a firm which is unable to manage to produce the goods at a cheaper rate, they will not earn a profit. That means profit margin is totally dependent how effectively you are managing your resources. Fixed price, whatever is the price that is decided, that is fixed, nobody can change it, you have to sell your product at that level only. Agreement, it is the agreement among all the firms coming together, voluntary association that okay, I will be selling all my product at this price that is decided by the cartel. Selling cost, that means there will be a cost, there will be a competition, but that competition on the basis of the selling cost. And selling cost I have already detailed what does it mean when I was discussing with the features of oligopoly market. Reduce uncertainty. Once the price is decided, you know that at this price you have to sell. So there are various uncertainty that get reduced. Reducing wastage and resources, that means your time, effort, energy all are reduced when you know that you have to sell this price. So you will manage all your resources in a way where you can produce your product at a cheaper rate. Now the next is leadership pricing. Leadership pricing, as per this technique, it is the method in which the price is decided by the leader under the market. That means there are firms that is enjoying the dominant position in the oligopoly market. Dominant means capturing a large share of the market, capturing the large supply of the product. That means that particular firm is having a good say in the market. So that becomes the leader. And other firms are very small, they does not have a much capture in the market, so they are the follower. So as per price leadership, it is the leader, it is the dominant firm, it is the reputed firm which will decide the price for the product, and other firm will follow the price and sell their product the price that is determined by the leader in the market. So reason for price leadership, existence of larger leader firm. Price leadership will only possible when there is some good reputed large leader firm exist in the market. If all the firm at the same level, nobody can be a leader. Leader need to be leader, then only price can be determined by the leader. Aggressive price determination by large firm. The large firm are good, they know better in comparison to the other firm, they know the tactics, so they decide the price, and once they decide the price, they make it sure the others do follow that price that is being determined by the large firm, that is the leader firm. Low cost by the large firm, because large firm, good techniques, good technology, producing the goods at a bulk, having a good knowledge about the market, good knowledge about the rivals, good knowledge about the competitors, what are the various firms. So they know everything and they try to produce the good at a cheaper rate. And when they are producing the good at a cheaper rate, that means they can sell the goods at a less price and still they can manage to have a good profit. So that is why they become leader. Existence of experienced and reputed, they are experienced firm, they have a good market, they have a goodwill in the market, whatever they sell at whatever the price, the consumer are ready to purchase. So if consumer are ready to purchase whatever the price they are giving to the consumer, other firm will also follow the step of the price decided by the leader. Condition for effective price leadership. What are the various conditions? Price and good knowledge of competitors' reaction. It is the responsibility of the leader firm that they must have a good knowledge about the competitors, about their strategy, about their price output policy, about their market capture, then only they can be a leader in a market. Royalty by the followers of the market, that means the leader make it sure that followers actually follow them. That means they make a good that whatever the price that I am deciding, I am dominating the market, others are following or not following. If others are not following, then definitely in a coming future, the leader firm will lose its identity as leader. Ability to sustain price war with the competitor. That means they should be capable enough to maintain a competition in regard with price. Here I mean regard with price means that the price that is determined by them, that need to be followed by the competitor. Frequent price changes should not be there. That means once the price is decided, they need to sustain that price level of output for a period of time. Continuously if they are changing, that means they are not stable in their behavior. If they are not stable in their behavior, then how can they predict other to be in stability situation? That means whether they are earning a loss, still they need to adopt the same strategy, because in a coming future they will manage it, but they need to maintain the same price output policy for a period of time. Long run advantage. So the advantage of price leadership will be on long run. It will not be on short run. So always think for the long run, because your business lasts for a longer period of time rather than for a short profit period. Advantage of price leadership, why it is very advantageous? It is convenient and it is easy. It is very simple. If you are dominating the market, if you are controlling the market, if you have a market share, so you are going to decide the price, others are just going to follow it. Helpful in reduction of the risks. It helps in reducing the risks. Reducing the risks means you have decided the prices, others are just following the prices. So unnecessary wastage of the resources get eliminated. So this reduces the chances of risks in regard with fluctuation of the prices of up and down. Price war does not exist in the market. That means they are not going to compete with each other on the basis of the price, because the price is being determined by the leader firm and you need to sell at that price. That means you have to manage the production process in such a manner that you have to produce the good at a least cost so as to sell the product, the price that is being determined by the leader. Solid and strong base for price determination. That means it is a good base for deciding the prices. That means it is the leader who determined the prices. On that basis, the other is going to decide the price. Other is going to decide what level of output need to be brought in the market at the price that is being determined by the leader firm. That means we can say price leadership is a good technique in which a dominant giant firm will control the over market. They will decide the price and others just need to follow it. So thank you so much. This is all for today's session. In today's session, we have discussed in detail the various price output determination on the oligopoly, that basically consists of independent pricing, collusive pricing and price leadership. So each is important, each have its own pros and cons. That totally depends on the oligopolist, what particular pricing strategy they need to follow at a particular point of time that will give him a good return. Thank you so much. We'll meet you again for the next session in the upcoming lecture. Thank you.